The question is that the House do now adjourn, and I call the member for Durack.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'm very pleased to rise in the House tonight to speak about a group of people who are delivering for the bush in Western Australia like no other, and I speak of the WA Regional Liberals. Mr Deputy Speaker, the WA Regional Liberals are delivering right across regional, rural and remote Western Australia. From the member for O'Connor, Rick Wilson, representing the Goldfields Esperance region and my hometown of Kalgoorlie, down to Albany in the state's south, to myself representing the Kimberley in the north, out east to Southern Cross, and not forgetting the good member for Forest, Norla Marino, representing West Australians in South West. Earlier today, Mr Deputy Speaker, I spoke about the federal government's National Stronger Regions Fund, which has assisted vital projects to be developed in many parts of regional Western Australia. Of course, Mr Deputy Speaker, WA Regional Liberals aren't just delivering at a federal level. The WA Liberal Party has pre-selected for this upcoming state election some great candidates to continue the representation of regional Western Australia. Geraldton is the largest city in WA north of Perth and has been well represented for the last 8 years by Liberal local member Ian Blaney. Mr Blaney is a former farmer who has called the Midwest home for some 50 years, so clearly knows a thing or two about the challenges and opportunities in regional Western Australia. Mr Blaney has overseen an overhaul of the education system in Geraldton. Geraldton University Centre has expanded courtesy of funding for the upgrade secured by Mr Blaney. Both public high schools, Geraldton Senior School and John Wilcox College, will both reopen as full campus high schools from Year 7 to 12 from 2019. Deputy Speaker, the member for Geraldton also presided over the opening of the Wandina Primary School, which was Geraldton's first public primary school in over 30 years. Mr Blaney has committed to upgrade the Geraldton Regional Hospital following the previous Labor government's ridiculous redevelopment of the hospital, which had fewer beds than the campus it replaced. Deputy Speaker, the upgrade commitment includes increasing bed capacity by over 40% and increasing the ED bays to 21. The election promise also includes a $49 million integrated mental health service, which includes 12 inpatient beds, which is music to the ears, Deputy Speaker, of not just Geraldton, but also the people right across the Midwest. The Geraldton Hospital upgrade will also benefit people in the neighbouring electorate of Moore, which the enthusiastic and hard-working Darren Slins is the candidate for the Liberal Party, following 20 years in the police force and 15 years with the Army Reserve, and a small businessman, Mr Slins, is running for the seat of Moore, fighting to ensure communities in Moore are a safe place to live and to do business. In the Kimberley, the WA Regional Liberals have another fine former police officer and businessman in Warren Greatorex. As a proud Derby man, he knows first-hand, Deputy Speaker, about the challenges of Indigenous Australians and will make a fine representative for the Kimberley. Mark Olchen is a young husband and father who knows what's required to get the Pilbara economy pumping again and is putting up an excellent fight against the National Party's $5 mining tax, together with Agricultural Minister Mark Lewis and Ken Baston, both Liberal Party mining and pastoral upper house members. Julie Westcott, who's a proud Gascoyne woman, will ensure the region gets what it needs to take the Gascoyne to the next level. And Bill Crabtree, who is a local wheatbelt farmer, whose enthusiasm for the wheatbelt, Deputy Speaker, is unmatched. Mr Crabtree will round off the excellent WA Regional Liberals contesting this state election in the federal seat of Durack. So, Mr Deputy Speaker, as you can see, the WA Regional Liberal team aren't just a typical bunch of MPs. We have business people, Indigenous leaders, police officers, Army Reserve people, and people that have been living and breathing regional Western Australia for over 50 years in many of their cases. So they are a hard-working, diverse, unified team who deliver currently in terms of many of my federal colleagues that I've mentioned earlier, but we also have a greater capacity to, at a state level, to have a greater number of regional Liberals representing regional Western Australia, and I, for one, am very confident that we'll have more success this time round, and I look forward to working with each and every one of them.
Hear, hear.